Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about the secret hack that thin and healthy people use that no one ever talks about. This is really the secret hack I've been just waiting to share with you for so long, but had to pick the perfect moment. This ideal hack that just is going to allow you to be a thin and healthy person for the rest of your life. So what is it? The hack they use is that they don't use hacks. They don't use hacks because hacks are bullshit. And the more you keep looking for hacks and shortcuts and quick fixes, the more you're going to languish being overweight, struggling with it. So the ultimate hack is to cut the shit with the hacks. There are no hacks. There's doing the work. There's putting the effort, the time, and the energy into actually mastering your weight by mastering your mindset, your lifestyle, and your eating so that you can live as a thin, healthy person for the rest of your life. There are no hacks. So I hope you're not too disappointed, but I hope that you can learn something from this, because the sooner you step off the hack train, looking for your quick instant fix solutions, the sooner you can just get on the regular path of actually just mastering your weight. It's not rocket science. It's not that hard. It really isn't. If you strategically put the work in an intelligent way, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, you can easily be at your goal weight comfortably, enjoyably for the rest of your life. And so you've got to free yourself of this diet mindset that's always looking for the quick fix, because it's that obsession with losing weight quickly that prevents you from doing the obvious strategic things that you know will work for you. So you have to kind of slay that part of your brain that just wants to change everything all at once, instantly. Of course, we're all impatient, but you have to realize it's not working and adjust course. And the adjustment of that course is to start doing your weight and your health in a more strategic, long-term way that's going to last. And if you want help doing this, click the link in my bio or go to Program Yourself Thin and get the free hypnosis session that I made for you. Watch the video I made for you. Get in my world a little bit. Maybe this will work for you. And if it doesn't, no harm, no foul. You can just go on your way and go back to diet. They'll still be there. But if it does work for you, it could change your whole life. So I hope I see you in there. Thanks, Karen. I appreciate that. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. Nura, how you doing? How's it going? Jeez, crooked here. So everyone's having a nice day. Pull the old trickery. The old trick lesson. What's up, Carrie? How's it going? Just when you thought I was going to give you the best hack ever. I did. Sometimes the hack you need is not the hack you want. Anyways, that's always fun for me. Wow. Thanks for the gifts there, Karen. You got up to member level 8, whatever the hell that means. That's cool. There you go. See, good things happen when you give me gifts, folks. You get to go up levels. I didn't even know there was levels to this stuff, but apparently Karen has blasted her way to level 8, whatever that means. So nice job. Welcome to level 8. Nara's doing good. Nice. Hope everyone else is doing good. I'm doing good. Christ, so over 40 degrees for the first time Fahrenheit, for over 40 degrees for the first time in a month, it feels like. And the 100 feet of snow is starting to finally melt. And I'm looking forward to it. This has been the worst year, I would say, of not, I picked the wrong year to stop snowboarding and skiing. 10 million feet of snow. And that's the year I picked to not go snowboarding. Of course, it was all in service to get my shoulder fixed. So it's all going to be worth in the long run. But yeah, I'm actually, so I'm ready for the snow to go away and the warm weather. I was on our way to training, caught in transit. Nice. Georgina says, I thought you were going to say your fiber hack. That was a good one. I love feeling more full by adding fiber. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that would have been a good hack as well. There are hacks. I'm kind of joking. There's nothing wrong with having hacks, as long as you don't look for just one hack. Look for multiple hacks, I guess. And if you look for multiple hacks, maybe they're no longer hacks. I don't know. But yes, Georgina is right. The fiber hack is probably the most important one of all in terms of what you're eating. As I saw someone put it yesterday, your fiber goals are way more important than your protein goals, even for weight loss. And yeah, I think that we're just not conditioned to think about fiber Because again, we're all brainwashed by the food industry, and the number one thing stripped from processed food is fiber, because fiber doesn't process well. And so, yeah, fiber has been stripped from our bodies and stripped from our minds. We don't even think about fiber typically. So it's kind of crazy that way. But as you start thinking more and more about fiber and you start putting more fiber into your body, it really is probably the most important diet strategy that I could recommend. Now, fiber in the form of fresh fruits, vegetables, greens, beans, whole grains, not Metamucil. I'm talking about real fiber you would eat in the real world. That's probably the most important thing you could do to lose weight, in my opinion, because it will fill you up. Nura says, yeah, Georgina, I was thinking sleep, water, lifestyle change in general. Yeah, I guess there's another one. So, yeah, sleeping, I would say sleeping on the lifestyle side of things. So I would say eating wise, if I had to pick one hack strategy that I think is most important eating wise, I would say, I could say fiber. I mean, it's all kind of the same thing. So I could just frame it a little slightly differently, but eating more whole natural foods is number one. And of course that includes fiber, micronutrients, more water. Okay. That's eating wise. The other one, lifestyle wise, yeah, sleep is number one. Sleep is the ultimate, most important lifestyle habit of all of them, because everything else rests on your sleep. And I think your sleep is even more important than your hydration and relaxation and nourishment, all these other things. I think sleep's the most important one. So yes. And then mindset wise, I would say the most important hack is, I would have to say motivation. Probably motivation. If you know how to motivate yourself, and most people are woefully bad at motivating themselves. I am never cease to be shocked and amazed at how bad people are at knowing how to motivate themselves genuinely. And a lot of people walk around thinking they want to lose weight, but they don't really want to lose weight. They're not really motivated. They kind of want to, but they don't really want to. And they don't know how to get themselves to really want to. And that becomes a real big issue, as you can imagine. Portion control would have been my next bet. Well, yeah, but I feel tricked. Clickbait. Well, no, okay, yes, you would feel. I literally, before I got on here, I typed into the AI generator. I said, give me 20 of the most clickbaity podcast titles you can imagine. And so, Nura, good job. As clickbaity as AI could come up with. And I just picked one that I thought was really funny, because I think it's funny to do that. But yeah, portion control. Yes, but portion control, I think, happens naturally when you eat more natural whole foods. So yes, portion control, again, another important one. But technically, portion control is really an interesting concept, because I think a lot of times what people think when they think portion control is they think eating less. And that is the wrong way to think about it, because really what we want to think about is reducing our calorie consumption, which does not mean you need to eat less food. You can eat more food and reduce your calorie consumption. And I think that is the secret to mastering your weight, because then you don't feel hungry and you still cut your calories down and you're still losing weight. So again, to understand that, you need to understand calorie density. But again, I shortcut that by just saying, if you eat more whole natural foods as opposed to processed foods, you will feel fuller, you'll consume less calories, and you'll lose weight. They've done study after study of this. People that eat more whole, natural, plant-based diet, they don't even track their calories. And they just automatically and naturally, on average, eat 400, 500, 600 calories less a day than people eating processed food. So that's a study you probably have never heard of and will never hear of, because there's not a lot of money being made off of selling you whole natural foods. So, yeah. Sorry for tricking you, Nura. But I was trying to trick you. I was in a tricky mood today. So I think it's hilarious to base podcast episodes on clickbait titles, because I know that's the language most dieters speak, because you're just inundated nonstop. Oh God. Oh, I have to really watch it. I literally have like even my Program Yourself Thin social accounts. I really am very, very intentional about not watching any fitness influencer stuff. It depresses me quick. I find fitness, weight loss, social media is woefully depressing and confusing and discouraging and frustrating and awful. So I do my absolute best to avoid any diet or fitness influencer social media in my life. Yeah. So Lindsay says, hi, Jim. I've been struggling with lunch. I love the idea of a big salad, but I need a stepping stone. I used to eat a turkey bacon sandwich regularly. Do you have any methods you'd recommend for finding some lunch staples that work for me? Well, again, I think, you want to eat more salads. I think that's a nice place to start. So, a stepping stone for me, just from what you've just said, is eating I like when you say I used to eat a turkey bacon sandwich regularly. I see lots of things in the things you wrote. When I see I've been struggling with lunch, I love the idea of a big salad, but that right away means that I like the idea of eating a salad, but I'm not eating a lot of salads. So now I say, what are you eating then, typically? And now I see the past tense use of the word, I used to eat a turkey bacon sandwich regularly. Now I see the past tense of used, which kind of implies that you don't eat bacon turkey sandwiches anymore. But now I say to myself, you want to eat salads, but you're not. Because again, I love the idea of a big salad, but's a negator. So I'd love to eat a big salad, but I'm not eating big salads. I used to eat turkey bacon sandwiches, which implies that you're not doing it anymore, but I don't know if I believe that or if that's just a self-bullshitting technique. So if I had to put money on it, I'm guessing that you'd like to eat salads, but you're eating turkey bacon sandwiches more right now. And the idea of giving up the sandwich and eating a salad is unappealing to you. And so if that was the case, the stepping stone I would suggest is to have a salad with my bacon turkey sandwich. And I would get the salad, if that's the case, or whatever you're eating for lunch, typically now, I would have a side salad, a small, simple salad. So I know you love the idea of a big salad, but you might actually be able to get yourself to eat a smaller salad. And that would be a stepping stone for me. That's what I would do. Now, again, there's a million other alternatives, but that's the one I would say just based off of what you said. What's up, Joan? Joan says, did you ever hear of Andrew Spudfit Taylor from Australia? He proves your point about calorie density. No, let's look him up. With a name like that, he sounds like an interesting guy. Let's see. Spudfit, a revolutionary new food belief system, the potato diet and beyond for simple, sustainable weight loss and overcoming. Yep. Can't stick to healthy eating. There's a lot of potatoes, but I see some greens there. All right. Here he is. Yeah, looks great. I see lots of fresh food. Guy eats a lot of potatoes, I guess. He looks kind of like a potato, but hey, all us guys with shaved heads kind of look like potatoes, I suppose, to some degree. I'll have to look him up, but I like it. I like what I'm seeing right off the bat, but I see whole natural foods, so that's good. And I'm going to assume that eating whole natural foods, he felt a lot fuller and ate less. Yeah, that's kind of how it works, folks. Again, you're not going to hear that message because all the diet companies are owned by the food industry companies. So the food industry doesn't want you to eat less processed food. They want you to just try and cut your calories down of processed food. It doesn't work, which is what they want, because they don't want you to eat less of their processed food. So yeah, I'll check that out. Karen says, I'm on a plateau. Any advice? Just stuck. Yeah, I mean, if you're on a plateau for a while, I mean, once you're on a plateau for more than a month, say, what I really do is I look at like what I did. What am I doing? What are my typical eating patterns? And so I again, the plateaus on the weight side of things. I say, okay, my weight's kind of plateaued, but my mind always says when my weight plateaus, it's because my eating's plateaued over a month, say. So if my weight's plateaued, my eating is plateaued. And so I'm going to look at what I'm eating. And I'm going to say, okay, what am I typically eating? Where would be the place where it'd be the easiest place to pull some calories out of? So that's the advice I would say. Where would be the easiest thing? What you're typically eating day in and day out. Again, if you're doing cleaner pleasure days, but whatever you're typically eating week to week, when you look at that eating over a week, where would be the easiest place for you to cut some calories out? And then I would go to work on that. What's up, Tabitha? How's it going? Hey, how are you doing, Julie? Oh, okay. All right. So Joan says, yeah, the Spud Fit guy, Andrew Taylor, he lost 117 pounds. Holy cow. And he's kept it off for many years. In 1 year, he ate only potatoes. After that, moved to Whole Foods. Well, that's great. I'm glad he moved to Whole Foods. But yeah, potatoes are great. Again, potatoes get a bad rap because people usually eat potatoes that are fried in oil, have cheese on them, ketchup. They're eating them with burgers. It's usually not, it's not the potatoes' fault that people cover it, smother it with lots of fat. I mean, that's not the potatoes' fault. So potatoes get a bad rap for no good reason. Potatoes are great. So it's the way we prepare them. So Christina, how's it going? If you're tricking us now, I can't wait to see what you'll do on April Fool's Day. Yeah, we'll see. I got my April Fool's one. Actually, I sent that email out. It's a funny one. I won't tell you what it is yet. I'll come up with a new one this year. What's up, Connie? How's it going? Things are going well for you. Are you feeling a little stressed? I think a lot of people feeling stressed. And I think, you got to manage that, got to manage it. There's a lot of reasons that can happen. The state of the world, the weather, lack of sun, lack of movement that comes from that. Again, there's patterns to the year. So I think it's important that we recognize what those patterns are and adjust to them. And part of that adjustment is lowering expectations and then shifting our focus a bit. So again, for me, this time of year, especially this year, because I'm not snowboarding or skiing, I've been less active and I got my shoulder worked on. So I haven't really been playing basketball even as much as I have. So I'll pull my expectations a little bit away from the movement piece of my plan, the exercise piece. And I put more of it into sleeping. And that's really a focus for me now, is just sleeping. I will tell you, one of the most greatest, it was just one of the greatest things I've done in a long time was Saturday. I did some work in the morning. I finished around, 12:30, 1 o'clock. And I went inside my house and the sun was coming in the front window and I laid on the sofa with my dog and I laid there and slept and laid there for 3 hours. My son was doing his own thing. My wife was doing her thing, and I just had nothing to do. And I just laid there and slept and hung out doing nothing. And that was the first time I've done that in a long, long time. And it was great. So it just reinforced the idea that I've spent a lot of my time focusing on recovery, because it's been a depleting winter for me. But so that happens for a lot of people for different reasons. But when that time hits, I think you're best served not by feeling bad about yourself and feeling worse by not adjusting your expectations, expecting all times of the year should be the same. But I think you got to adjust to things. You got to respond, Lindsay says, I've been eating roasted veggies with rice, but it just doesn't do it for me. I love my turkey bacon sandwiches and I seem to need excitement and joy from food. Can I hypnotize myself into getting enjoyment from salads? This is a good opportunity for me to talk about hypnosis the way I understand it. Could I hypnotize a person to like salads more? Yeah, absolutely. But the way more effective way of hypnotizing yourself to like salads is actually different than you're thinking, because it's like you think about salads in a certain way, right? So I thought, well, I'll stick with myself. So I used to think about salads in a different way. I didn't really like them. And when I did like them, I liked them because I put blue cheese and croutons on them. That's the salads I liked. I like just basic ass salad, but I really like the blue cheese on it. It was a blue cheese delivery system. And, even when I was vegetarian for a long time, I didn't really love salads. And then I read a book, How Not to Die. That really changed my thoughts on the importance of nutrient density and variety in my diet. And so all of a sudden I started to think about salads as an opportunity to really nourish my body at a way higher level. So all of a sudden salad wasn't just this vague idea that I should eat salads, they're healthy. All of a sudden I had much more granular detail of, if I ate this type of salad I was thinking about, I could put so much more nutrients into my body. And so it changed the way I thought about the salad. That is hypnosis. The way we subconsciously think about things is what we use hypnosis for. So if I just thought about salads the way I thought about them and I tried to hypnotize myself, I could for a little while probably like eat salads a little bit more. But it took a much deeper shift in how I thought about the salads to really change the way that I eat them and how I think about them. So that is why, again, in Program Yourself Thin, it's not about the hypnosis is an important piece, but it's really a supplement to the self-hypnosis you do to yourself. And you're always hypnotizing yourself day in and day out. And so understanding how to do that, I think is the whole game when it comes to weight. So anyways, nice job with the roasted veggies and rice. You've been eating it, but it's not doing it for you. So I would be looking for other options. The turkey bacon sandwich, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Here's the thing. You can't just look at lunch. So I don't know what the rest of your eating is, but I will tell you the biggest mistake I see dieters making is they don't look at their eating as a whole. So, you keep thinking, like, you keep trying to optimize every single meal, and every time you're eating, you try to make perfect, and then none of it's perfect. And so to me, it's like, that's why we have clean and pleasure days and Program Yourself Thin. I look at a week and I say, what's the most enjoyable, pleasurable thing I can eat? And I build everything around that. And so if I love turkey bacon sandwiches, I'll probably eat turkey bacon sandwiches. I will optimize them, make them as healthy as I can. I would use as little bacon as possible. I would use as little mayonnaise as I needed to enjoy the sandwich. I would optimize the bread as much as I could. And then I would have that and I would love that. I'd probably add a salad to my lunch. And then though, I would say, okay, I can have this for lunch, but for breakfast, I'm gonna eat something really, really healthy and nourishing. And I'm gonna have my lunch. I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of it. I'm gonna have a salad with it as well, just to get some good, solid nutrition to me. And then dinner time though, I'm gonna optimize as well. 4 or 5 days a week, but I can have my lunch. So you see what I mean? So again, we have to think bigger. We can't just keep trying to make everything perfect. It doesn't work that way. It's not going to work long that way for you. So I hope that makes sense, Lindsay, but that's probably what I'd start. Yeah. Joan says, it's amazing to me how a small change in language, especially self-talk, makes such a huge difference. Yeah. It's the whole game. Your self-talk, folks, is controlling your weight. You're literally hypnotized. You've been hypnotized, and now you keep that hypnosis going. You maintain that hypnosis. You've literally been brainwashed by the diet and food industry. You've been hypnotized, if you want to call it that languaging. You've been hypnotized so that you automatically, subconsciously think like an overweight person. Okay. And you've been hypnotized to think like an overweight person, like a dieter. And now you naturally and automatically think like an overweight person and dieter. And so you're constantly maintaining that hypnosis by what you're thinking. If that makes sense. Yeah. Nora says, oh yeah, or have a half a sandwich with a small salad on the side. Exactly. See, Nora's in the program, so she thinks, you know what I mean? Again, when you invest in things, you get returns back, folks. So again, you see this every day on this podcast. I'm on here. The people that are in the program always write different stuff than the people that aren't. Like dramatically different stuff. And so Nura, again, right off the bat, she goes, well, you could do a salad with turkey and some croutons, or you could do half a sandwich with a small salad on the side. So again, because in the program, we're always thinking of solutions. Dieters always trap themselves in the problem. You know? He says, thank you. That was helpful. I've been doing oatmeal and blueberries for breakfast, and that's been working well. Dinner is still a work in progress, but I always make sure to eat a veggie. I'll take all this new info and ponder it. Thanks, Jim. Yeah. So again, Lindsay, like to me, see, this is what we do. Dieters always get fixated on something. So you think that the turkey sandwich is the problem, when in reality, that might be the most enjoyable meal of the day for you. And if you let yourself have that, now it's easier to keep breakfast really clean and healthy and optimized. You could optimize lunch by adding a salad to it. And now you might be in a much better mental, emotional space to really optimize dinner. And by optimizing dinner more, making lunch a bit healthier, cutting down a little bit of the calories during lunch, optimizing breakfast and that you're eating, that's going to lead you to lose weight most likely. Your dinner is a bigger issue than the sandwich. And your dinner is a direct consequence of what you're eating for lunch. And if you're keeping yourself deprived physically, mentally, emotionally by eating rice and vegetables that you don't really enjoy, you're going into dinner unsatisfied and really hungry, and you're eating shitty dinner. So yeah, okay, I'm eating rice and vegetables, but now I'm way overeating at dinner. So I'd rather have the turkey, sandwich at lunch that I really enjoy, seek to optimize it still. I know I want to cut some bacon off of it. I guarantee you can cut probably half the bacon out of it and still enjoy it as much. You could probably cut a quarter to half of the mayonnaise off if you use that. And then you feel satisfied and good. And now you're in a much better place to optimize dinner. And that's probably going to make a way bigger difference in your calories than the sandwich was anyways. So anyways, Carrie says eating salads and how well body responds is hypnotizing. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We hypnotize ourselves in a number of ways, and our behaviors, that's a lesson I want to do too. I was just doing a coaching call talking about how the number one thing that's going to affect how you feel each day is your behavior. I want you to know this. This is something dieters don't realize. It's not your weight. Yes, your weight matters. And yes, accumulated effects absolutely are factors. But the number one thing that consistently impacts how you feel during the day is your behavior during the day. If I eat like shit, I'm at my goal weight. If I eat like shit, I feel like shit. I feel gross, feel overweight, feel gross. I don't feel good. If I'm overweight and I eat really healthy and clean, I feel better. I feel happier. I feel healthier. I feel good about myself. And it's always going to be that way, folks. So that's the number one thing impacting each and every day you live, which ultimately turns into the number one thing impacting your life is your day-to-day, your daily behaviors. Oh, that makes sense. But yeah, so if you start eating salads, it has a hypnotizing effect on you. Anne says, I have the mindset of all or nothing. Any tips? Yeah. Having an all or nothing mindset is the kiss of death with weight loss. It won't work. And of course, you've been conditioned to think in an all or nothing way because you've all been conditioned to think like dieters. Dieting is an all or nothing mindset. And, I always say, first off, you should change it around. It's a nothing or all mindset, meaning when we say all or nothing, we really give extra focus to the all. And that's bullshit. You should really say, I have a nothing or all mindset. Because what that means when you say you have an all or nothing mindset, you really have a nothing or all mindset, meaning you're mostly nothing. If we look at a typical year, the vast majority of that time is you doing nothing about your weight. It's you thinking about it. And the all phases are a couple days here, a couple weeks here, maybe once a year, maybe. So it's a nothing or all mindset, first off. And the solution is not to be not all or nothing or all. It's to be all or something. And so in Program Yourself, then the whole program is built around the concept of being all or something, because you cannot be all for long, folks. Sorry, you can't. It's not even a fucking option. And this is what the diets trick you with. This is the biggest trick of the diets, is this idea that you're going to start your diet on day one and be perfect until you lose your weight. And you're not going to be perfect. And so anytime you make a mistake, it feels catastrophic and you are blown off course. You have to realize you got to practice being thin and healthy. Again, dieting is the biggest bunch of shit. It's the dumbest mindset on the planet. I just can't even stress it enough. I just can't even, I mean, I do every day. So it's like, I always find new ways to explain how stupid the diet mindset is. But for all of you new people, you're so conditioned. I mean, you're literally brainwashed to think like a dieter. So brainwashed people, I mean, like, it's like you're in a cult, you're in a diet cult. And, when someone's in a cult, you got to deprogram them. That is part of my goal every day when I get on here. I'm trying to deprogram you dieters to stop thinking like dieters, and I do every strategy I can use to do it. But yeah, an all or nothing mindset, the diet mindset, and it's just stupid. It doesn't work. You're a human. You're not a robot. You're not just going to be perfect. I mean, God, it's that all or nothing mindset too that just drives you down the path of doing dumb shit like keto, counting calories, not eating for 16 hours, whatever diet strategy you try. You're not going to do it all perfectly. You'll do it all for a little while. I'm not saying you can't do it all for a little while, but you're not going to do it all for long. And so it's not a long-term mindset. So GTWO says, how do I self-hypnotize? I mean, I guess the first step I would say is you can click the link in my bio and go get the hypnosis session I made for you so you can experience what hypnosis feels like first. But how do I self-hypnotize is like asking, like, how do I become a plumber? How do I become a mechanic? I don't know. I mean, you go and find a course and learn. I don't know. it's bigger than that. I'm not trying to be, you know what I mean? I'm being elusive here. It's just, it takes a lot. If you do actually care at all, like more than just casually asking the question, click the link in my bio and I give you a hypnosis session so you can experience hypnosis. But then I made a video for you where I explain, it's a 20-minute video, 3 steps to mastering your weight, but I talk about your mind, how hypnosis works, all the rest of it. So we'll answer it. Lindsay says, Jim, I've lost 10 pounds from listening to this podcast. That is due to the oatmeal and 4 times the amount of veggies I eat now. I'm down to the last 5 or so pounds. I feel great, but want to feel excellent. Thanks for this free podcast. You're changing lives. Well, awesome job. Take a little screenshot of that. Great job, Lindsay. Proud of you. What an accomplishment. And great way for doing it. I'm glad you recognize the cause effect there, what you did to create the weight loss. Nice job. And I think I would say, Lindsay, keeping your vegetable level up, right? So I personally, now again, I don't know you enough to answer this, but this is my intuitions of this, is that I would put the sandwich back into lunch, optimize it, and then I would move the rice and vegetables to dinner. You may find that resonates and fits with you better. And if you did that, you might be there. You might be at your 5 or last pounds, because I bet your dinner eating is the big issue now, is keeping you 5 pounds heavier. So anyways, nice job though. He says, listen, my Jim will change that. Yes, I will. Don says uncalled. Yeah. Millennial says, I wouldn't lump counting calories in with fad diets. I would, because who's going to count calories the rest of your life? You know, I think the way I think it diets, let me just take a step back. I get what you're saying. And by the way, I think counting calories absolutely works while you're doing it. So I want to make crystal clear, pretty much all the diets work when you're doing them. So counting calories absolutely works while you're counting calories. But what's the problem with counting calories? It's the same problem as every other diet. You're not going to stick with it, most likely. Your brain, you're not built to count your food calories every day of your life. You're not built to micromanage your eating each and every time you eat and put food in your body. It's very unnatural. And that's why people struggle to do it for long. So I would lump it in with diets because I think it's a short-term thing. I think for the vast, now, are there people that want to count their calories for the rest of their lives? Absolutely. There's always outliers, folks. So there's people that love to weigh and measure their food every time they put something in their mouth. So I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying is, I bet you've already tried counting calories if you're listening to this. I bet at some point in your life, you all tried counting calories at some point. Why'd you stop? And why you stopped is the same reason why you stop all the other diets you try, whether it's keto. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. And again, I intermittent fast. My version of it. But I think intermittent fasting, while I agree that it's good in a lot of ways, I think the way it's taught like a diet. This one size fits all, one step thing. And there's no mindset piece to it. There's no strategy for how to do it long term. There's no way to start with it when it's comfortable, how to train your subconscious mind to do it naturally. I think there's none of that. And so it's someone consciously with their willpower trying to force themselves to do something. And the vast majority of you that have counted calories in the past, you do it, you did it, you're losing weight. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is awesome. And then you stop doing it. Why did you stop doing it? And the answer to that question is the same answer to all the same diets. So why wouldn't I lump it together with those diets? So again, I mean, there's good and bad diets. I mean, shit, even the Mediterranean diet, which is the healthiest diet philosophy out there, it's still not going to help you lose weight, most likely. Not because it doesn't work, because you're not going to stick with it. Because, yeah, okay, Mediterranean diet, the healthiest diet out there, right? Pretty much. And so why isn't everyone doing it? Because you don't know how to adopt that diet so it resonates and fits into your lifestyle with you. You don't know how to change your lifestyle to support eating that way. And you don't know how to influence your mindset so that you live that lifestyle and eat that way for the rest of your life. And so even the Mediterranean diet, which is the healthiest one pretty much, it's you trying to force yourself to do it. And you never internalize it. You never integrate it and become a person who lives that diet, if that's the diet you so choose. And again, I think there's any way of choosing whatever diet. I don't give a shit. I mean, I have my opinions, by the way. I have very clear opinions about what the best diets are, but I help people that are carnivore. I think carnivore is the dumbest diet on the planet for humans to eat, the vast majority of them. But if someone wants to be a carnivore, I will help them do that because I don't care. It's your body, it's your life. So Program Yourself Thin really is diet agnostic. But again, I think something that works for a little while, because that's the big argument I get. I got someone wrote a comment on some video I made. They said, it's stupid to say diets don't work. And it's like, is it stupid? Is it stupid to say that? Yeah. Is that why 75% of the population is overweight or obese of American adults? Is that why? That's why it's stupid? Is that your proof that dieting works? Is it that 95% of people that lose weight on a diet put it back on? I mean, what numbers are we looking at to prove that dieting works? And I know people think, well, I did keto and I lost weight. I counted calories and I lost 50 pounds 5 years ago. Where are you at now? Well, where are you at now? And I don't say this to be obnoxious and a jerk. I say it because the diets have conditioned you to focus on losing weight. And I'm here to tell you, your goal is not to lose weight. You've got to realize this is the biggest trance you're in is you think your goal is to lose weight. When in reality, your goal is to actually live at your goal weight. They're two different things. And once you realize that, you very quickly, most people anyways, are going to, all of a sudden that becomes a real valuable litmus test to run these diets against. Can I lose weight counting calories? Absolutely. Do I want to count calories for the rest of my life? Oh my God. And you're filled with dread. That's a bad sign. Oh, I can lose weight eating carnivore. Do I want to eat carnivore, just eat meat for the rest of my life? Oh God, no. That's a bad sign. You see what I mean? So when you start using that as a litmus test, do I want to do this forever? That's very clarifying. I love the way that I eat. Like the way I eat now, I want to eat for the next 100 years. I love it. Now I know I'll keep optimizing. I'm excited about that. But I love the way I eat. I love the way I live. So I don't want it to stop. I love it. I want to do it forever. Have you ever felt that way about a diet? Ketoing it? Counting calories? Intermittent fasting? If you do, then you'd still be doing it. You don't listen to me. Because if you lost 100 pounds counting calories and it's been 10 years and you've been at your goal weight for 10 years and you love doing it, I'm not talking to you. Great job. You found what works for you. I'm happy for you. But if you're a person who lost weight counting calories 15 years ago and hasn't been able to get themselves back to counting calories again, then no, counting calories doesn't work for you. Do you understand? We have to make that distinction. Just because you can lose weight on something doesn't mean it works for you. What defines if it works for you or not is if you're doing it. It's a very clarifying definition. And I think it would help a lot of you because I think a lot of you are out there bullshitting yourself, telling yourself, oh, what works for me is Weight Watchers because I lost 30 pounds 25 years ago that time. And now you spent 25 years trying to get yourself to do it again and you can't. And you say, that's the diet that works for me. People get so it's like you're married to your diet. I get it too, because the diets are usually so ridiculous and hard and overwhelming for you that you really got to convince yourself that it's the magical thing. And so you become so irrationally committed to it. It makes no sense. It does to me because I understand cult behavior. It's a diet cult. I mean, you're literally programmed to think like a diet and you can't think outside of that, which again is why I'm here. I can't stress this enough. This is so important for me because I don't give a shit what clothes you're wearing. I'm looking, I want you to live as long as you possibly can. I want you to have the best quality life you possibly can. Margot says, hi, what's going on, Margot? So what are we talking about here? I was just talking about how diets are the dumbest shit ever. And how dieting does not work long-term. And if you want to master your weight, you've got to step out of the dieting trance. You got to. Because listen, dieters are overweight people. When you imagine a diet, when I say think of a dieter, do you think of someone slim and healthy or do you think of someone overweight, struggling? Exactly. Your subconscious, I mean, so deep. That's why I try to say I'm not trying to be offensive here when I say it's like you're in a cult. I don't mean that as an insult. Don't be offended by it. Do you not agree with that though? Like, isn't it clarifying now? Oh, yeah, I guess I am kind of in a cult. They're great. Because once you realize it, then you can work to get out of it. But the worst part of being a dieter is thinking that you're on the right path. Thinking that I know what I got to do. I just got to get myself to do it. Oh my God. That's not true. That's not true. You're a smart person. If you're listening to me, I know you're smart. Because one thing I have learned, and I've been doing this for a while, 20 years professionally, is that the only people that listen to me are people that are overthinkers. People that are relatively, smart. Because I'm talking fast. I'm all over the place. And so I know. And so I'm here to tell you, you're too smart to be overweight if you don't want to be. The problem is that you're not using your smarts when it comes to weight loss. You've been conditioned to think like a dipshit. And so every time you think about your weight, you think like a dipshit. And that's why you're getting dipshit results. It's not because you are a dipshit. Please understand that. It's because you've been brainwashed that every time you think about weight loss, you go diet trance. Oh, Weight Watchers. Oh, I got to start counting my calories. I got to start doing the thing that hasn't worked for me for 30 years. That's what I got to do. I got to do the thing that doesn't work for anyone. That's what I have to do to lose the weight. Wake the fuck up. You know what I mean? You're in a trance. I got to start studying more cult deprogramming actually, because that's what I am, I guess. I'm a cult deprogrammer at the end of the day. Yeah, but he says, I find cults insulting to my intelligence. Break free for freedom. Yeah. I mean, no one wants to be in a cult, I suppose. Right? It hurts. But to me, it's like, I would absolutely rather realize I was in a cult than rather believe that no matter what I do, I can't lose the weight, that I'm powerless. I'd rather realize I've been unknowingly trapped. Oh, shit. And we all been unknowingly trapped. I mean, shit, you had just been exposed to, I mean, shit, how many weight loss commercials do you think you've been exposed to in your life? Oh my God. I mean, it's just, when you think about all the types of messages you've been exposed to in your life, advertising wise, food's got to be top 5 easy. Food, cars, phones, drugs, and weight loss. It's right up there. And so every time you think about weight loss, you think about weight loss as a dieter. All the big diets are owned by the big food companies. Weight Watchers was owned by Heinz. Jenny Craig was owned by Nestle. Slim Fast owned by the same company owns Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Atkins Food Products owned by the same company owns Onions, Pretzels, and Cinnabon. These companies don't want you to lose weight long term. They don't want you to eat less of your bullshit food. They want to just fill your head up with rocks so that you continue to eat their bullshit food. And the plan seems to be working pretty well because the obesity rates are just going off the charts. They're estimated to be up to 90%. I mean, they're going up like crazy. I don't even know if the weight loss medicines are going to be able to stop them. That's crazy to think. What's up, Donna? Donna says, what does your weight loss philosophy look like? I'm just joining you for the first time. Well, welcome. I do these every day, Monday through Friday, usually around noon Eastern. So if you ever have questions, hop on here. Happy to help you out. I do this every day. This is a mission for me. So I get on here every day. But yes, my philosophy, my program is program yourself. Then I can sit here and describe it, but I would much rather you click the link in my bio, go get the free hypnosis session I give you, watch the free video I made for you. It's do a much better job of kind of explaining the whole thing succinctly. It's a 20-minute video, but that'll explain a lot more than I could talk about here. But in a very simple way, what I'm talking about is in Program Yourself, then we follow the weight mastery pyramid, and we use hypnosis and self-hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind, your mindset, your lifestyle, and your eating. We customize the weight mastery blueprints, which are your mindset, lifestyle, and eating. We customize those around you, and we use hypnosis and self-hypnosis to install them in your subconscious mind so they run on your autopilot. Again, the goal of Program Yourself then is not to lose weight. It is to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on your autopilot. And to accomplish that goal, you need a different strategy than dieting. So that is a very, very quick overview of it. But if you are even remotely intrigued by that concept, I would suggest you go watch the hypnosis, go listen to the hypnosis session, watch the video I made for you, and get in my world a bit. What's up, Shireen? Shireen says the all-new diet commercials should be coming soon, Slim Fast, etc. Yeah, again, what we're going to get is we're going to get hybrid. What's coming down the pike is you're going to get hybrid diet commercials, meaning they're going to be the diets that you've known and failed with, now with weight loss medicines. So you will get Weight Watchers with, GLP-1 medicines. You will get Slim Fast with GLP-1 medicine. You'll get Noom with GLP-1 medicines. And because the diets never worked. The diets never work. They're never going to work. They don't address the core problems. They suck. And yet now what they're going to do is, again, their last gasp, of trying to wring as much money out of you as they can do, is they're now going to co-opt the weight loss medicines, which work for about a year to 16 months. So get ready for that, because that's what I'm getting ready for. I got my watch set. It's going to be about another 3, 4, 5 months. 6 months. Let's say 6 months. In 6 more months, what you're going to get is you're going to start, the realization is going to hit all these people on these medicines that, how come I'm not losing any more weight? I was losing weight. Now my weight loss plateauing. What's going on? And what they're going to find out is these weight medications, dirty little secret, is that they stop working after 12 to 16 months for weight loss. So go check out the studies. You stop losing weight after 16 months max. So all these people that were obese that got in these medicines been losing weight consistently, they're going to hit a plateau. They're going to hit a floor. And they will not be able to lose any more weight on these medicines. And now they will have a lifetime of these, exorbitant fees. And these medicines are going to be expensive for a long time. Now they're going to have the pleasure of paying for all this to be less obese. And I think the shine's going to come off of that shit real quick when that happens. So we'll see. But again, and I'm not against the medicines. I think the medicines have their place. But I think that, what Program Yourself Thin's about and what the weight loss medicines are about are two totally different things. Program Yourself Thin really is a personal development program. So it's about losing weight for sure and living at your goal weight, but that's just a small piece of it. It's really about being the best version of you possible. And one piece of that is you weighing what you want, but it's really about, having the relationships you want, the health, the happiness you want, the adventures you want, the finances you want, the person you want to be, and using your health and your weight and how you eat and how you live and your mindset to achieve all that. So I find that's much more inspiring to help people do. I can't even imagine just caring about your weight. I can't imagine being a personal trainer or a dietitian. I would last about 1 day in that job. I like holistically helping people improve their lives in every area by improving their health, their nutrition, their mindset, their lifestyle, their weight, all of those things. So again, I know some people, I don't care about that shit, Jim. I just want to lose weight. Then the medicines are probably your best bet. But if you're, again, I make no bones about it. And I went through a little experiment at the end of last year where I'd sold my hypnosis piece of my program, because I have the #1 hypnosis program on the planet. It's the best hypnosis program there is. It's 8 weeks. Every day you get a 5-minute hypnosis session, a different one with a weight loss mantra in it. And each week you get a core weight loss mantra you listen to repeatedly that week. And then you get a whole hypnosis library. But I said, you know what? I sold it for a little while and people got good results on it. It's not that they didn't, but I realized that they're not getting the full experience of mastering their weight. If you want to master your weight, you got to get involved. So, I stopped selling the hypnosis program. And I only sell the mastery program now. But again, it's just because I want to make a clear divide. I don't want people dabbling in my program. My program's not for most people. And so I make that clear. But I get here for free. I give you lots of free stuff, and I got lots of free stuff coming. I got something that I'm thinking now it's gonna help people either way. It's just I got lots of cool stuff coming. But regardless, I'll help you for free lose weight. I can do that. I help people every day on the podcast lose weight. But if you want to master your weight, yeah, you got to invest in yourself. What do you want? It's not my fault. I'd give it away for free if I could, but people that get things for free don't value it. And I've tested this out. So there it is. What's up, Carol? Carol says your podcasts are great. I listen to them every day on my walks. That's awesome. Thanks for listening, Carol. Appreciate that. Again, I'm kind of getting my YouTube channel cranked up, so go check that out too. If you do like this content, I'm starting to work on putting more longer form content up there. So I just put a video up last week, 3 reasons diets don't work and how hypnosis fixes that. So if you search Jim Kitsulis YouTube, that'll pop up. Go check it out, like it, comment, whatever you want to do. Yeah, Vicky says, yeah, all the diets are doing that now. They don't want to lose market share of the meds. Yeah, exactly. But to me, it's like, you're not going to see, I'm not selling a GLP-1 version of my program. I have people in the program that are on it too. So it's not that they're not incompatible, but I would just never do that because that's not my goal. I don't want you to be on a GLP-1 forever. I want to go to the core of the problem and resolve it. So anyways, but the diets are bullshit anyways. They're just marketing bullshit. Trust me when I say that. They're not teaching you anything. They're missing the most important piece to you mastering your weight, which is your mindset. There's no diet. There's no popular diet out there that shows you how to change your mindset. Weight Watchers mindset stuff is infuriatingly stupid. Nooms is up. Nooms is probably the best in terms of teaching you some psychology. But again, it's enough to be like, well, it's better than the rest of it. And it's woefully inadequate to piss me off, just like all the rest of them do. It's all bullshit. Marg says, will I hit a plateau if I'm on a calorie deficit, all natural? Will I hit a plateau if I'm on a calorie deficit, all natural? Well, I don't know. There's not enough information in that question to answer that. So I hate the term calorie deficit, first of all, because it implies that it's a temporary thing, that you're temporarily reducing the calories and then you're going to bring them up to your normal range. So I think that's already setting you up for long-term failure, but let's just skip that for a second. The next part of your question that needs to be answered is, I don't know what kind of calorie deficit you're in. If you're in a 200 calorie deficit, yeah, you're going to hit a plateau. You could be all natural. If you cut 200 calories out of if you create a 200 calorie deficit, your weight's going to go down a little bit, and then it's going to stop. So your weight loss is equivalent to the calorie deficit you create. Which is why I hate the term calorie deficit, because what most of that means to you all as dieters is that you're going to cut 50, 60, 70% of your calories out. You're going to create a 60% calorie deficit. You're going to go from your average calorie consumption to a deficit of 60% down. And it's so dramatic and overwhelming. And then you think you're going to bring it up to a maintenance level. That works never. 95% of dieters put the weight back on. So that's a terrible strategy. It doesn't work for anyone. So yeah. What's up, Lavender? How's it going? Lavender says, I've been here for a while, and trust me, you have helped me lose weight and control it. Hey, that's awesome. Happy to help you with that. So I'll take a little screenshot of that. Yeah, I help people all the time. And it's exciting. I've been doing the podcast for a couple of years now. We're closing in on episode 500. Crazy to think that. But I've been doing this for 20 years. So I've been I was closing on 6,000 private weight loss sessions. I've been doing this for 20 years, watching people lose weight before my eyes and stay at that weight. So this is just another day at the office for me, but it's fun to get out on the podcast and just, you get to see just people I've never even met. Just, oh, hey, I've lost a lot of weight. That's something I got to do. I've just got, testimony after testimony just from the podcast, people losing weight. But yeah. It's not rocket science, folks. I know, sometimes with your weight, you can feel so discouraged and apathetic about it. And that's literally why I get out here, because I am concerned for people's emotional state. I want them to live as long as possible too. But the thing that really gets me right in the gut is that people living their whole lives feeling like shit because they can't change their weight. And that's really the thing I think that motivates me more than anything else. So Vicky says, I think of reducing consumption when my weight fluctuates. Yeah. I mean, I think that makes sense. If you want the weight to stay down, D says, what do you eat on pleasure days for lunch? Okay, D. So on pleasure days for lunch, I don't eat lunch. So my clean days, I eat 3 meals a day. My pleasure days, I eat 2 meals a day. And that's part of the strategy, D. Right. So again, I cut out the lunchtime calories and I eat them at dinner, but simultaneously I enjoy dinner more because I go into dinner being really hungry. Not really hungry. I'm not out of control, but I'm definitely the highest I let my hunger get to is Saturday night before I'm about to eat. See, you see what I'm saying? It's very, very strategic. Now you might say, well, I can't skip lunch. Okay, fine. Then eat something, eat less than, eat a banana. You know, how much can you eat less at lunch? I do the same thing for lunch on Fridays. I don't skip lunch on Fridays, but it's I eat a lot less for my lunch on Friday than I do the other 4 days of the week. So I hope that makes sense to you, D. Again, because we want to look at this strategically and we want to look at the week. What am I eating all week? And I want to be able to have my pleasure days in a structured way and live at my goal weight. So I start with the structured days, and then a lot of times I'm pulling off other places to get my calories down. Antagonostico says, is there any food you wouldn't consume ever again because of how unhealthy it is? I mean, that's a strong one. I try not to be, I'm not that strong. Now, that being said, I am a pescatarian. And so I have not eaten a land animal, a cow, a pig, lamb. I have not eaten a land animal in 25 years, but that felt very natural for me. I didn't set out to like, okay, I can't eat that anymore. It just felt like it just fell away. So that seems like a different motivation to me. Now, I have not eaten fast food. I hadn't eaten fast food in probably 15 years. And last year, the year before, I ate one because Burger King got an Impossible Whopper. I used to like Whoppers. So I said, I'm going to try it. But fast food, junk food stuff, that shit I really avoid. So I wouldn't say I would never consume it again, but I really almost never eat it because it's so unhealthy. Now, what's unhealthy mean? Even unhealthy is a very interesting term because your subconscious mind does not understand negatives. So if I tell you, don't think about, get your willpower ready. Don't think about what I'm about to tell you, okay? I want you to see how good you are at not thinking about things. Okay, don't think about a banana. Don't think about a banana. Don't think about a banana. So what are you thinking about? A banana, right? So it's very interesting a lot of times that we talk about junk food stuff, fast food stuff, and we say, oh, it's really unhealthy. You know, because what's happening is you're referencing health still. So I have studied junk food stuff, fast food stuff, processed food stuff a lot. So this is one of those things where I don't think of it as unhealthy. I think of what it actually does to your body in a lot more detail. That's the big difference. So when you start to like, again, I couldn't even see where to start. I'll give you one example. I remember reading a book, and I think it was Salt, Sugar, Fat, and it was written by a journalist, and he was studying all this, and he went to the Cheez-It factory, and they were showing him the difference that the flavorings make on the product. And they gave him some Cheez-Its that had not had salt on them yet. And I will always remember he described them as tasting like metal filings. Because again, the stuff they use to make this processed foods is literally the lowest quality they can possibly get. And then they cover it with all sorts of flavorings and stuff that tricks your brain and thinks you like it. But when it was just brought down to the ingredients, I always remember he said it was like metal filings. So my kid likes Cheez-Its. I never want to eat any of those Cheez-Its because I always think of just how shitty those ingredients are and how without the hypnotic flavorings on them that trick your brain and body, you would never eat it because it's disgusting to your senses. Now I share that story with you because I want to compare the difference between saying, oh, don't eat Cheez-Its, they're unhealthy for you, and the story I just told you. You see, unhealthy doesn't really have much meaning behind it. It tasting like metal filings means a lot to me, and it has a lot more punch to it. So I think of a lot of processed food, sugar, soft drinks, fast food stuff, junk food stuff. I think of all these foods in a lot of detail that the most people don't have. And because I think of it that way, I don't want it. Now you've gone through all this. We've all gone through this as a culture with cigarettes. Cigarettes in the 60s, 70s, you may say, oh, I don't think they're good for me. They're kind of unhealthy. But now your understanding of what that actually means is much deeper and vivid and richer. Now you understand the effect it probably has on your cardiovascular system, on your lungs, on cancer in your body, you know, all the negative effects of it. So there's much more visceral meaning there. Does that make sense? So the way I think about junk food stuff, fast food stuff, processed food stuff is that I think of it in a very visceral, negative way, and I don't want it. So it's not like most dieters really want those foods and they have to try and stop themselves. Because I've changed the way that I think about those foods, that's hypnosis. I don't want them. You know what I mean? Deb said, I had my gallbladder out 2 weeks ago. It was non-functioning. I can't drink Diet Coke anymore because of the gas. So that was a win for me. Oh, look at that. Interesting. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, you're better off. Again, I'm not here. I think of everything on a spectrum, folks. I live in the real world. I'm unusual in the sense that I literally have a history. I think there's probably not too many people on the planet who have worked with as many people as I have in the real world to actually eat healthier, be healthier, lose weight, live at that weight. And so part of what I've learned from that process is you meet people where they're at. And so I don't like to think in black and white. That being said, there's really not a reason in the planet, in the world, why you should be drinking diet soda or regular soda regularly. It's a complete unnatural thing to put into your body on a regular basis. Now, that being said, I know we live in a crazy world where that's normalized as something that a lot of people do every day, multiple times, and it's normal. So again, I like to think of things on a spectrum, that wherever you start with your soda consumption, that you would make it an active focus to start reducing it. But I'm happy for you, Deb, that when you get that out of your life, and I'm glad to, well, hopefully, to hear the gallbladder surgery went well. But that's a real benefit for you to get that shit out of your body, because diet soda is consistently correlated with weight gain. I'm not going to go into the details of why that is, although I can, but yeah, just let you know that. So again, it's a trick, it's why wouldn't it be? Anytime you're putting unnaturally sweet chemicals into your body, it's probably not going to help with your weight loss and your health. So again, the only way that diet soda can ever seem healthy is when you contrast it with regular soda, which is obviously really unhealthy, but so is the diet soda. They're both really unhealthy compared to water. So again, I'm not here to demonize that because I know a lot of you are drinking it. So I don't want to, again, I help people lose weight that don't even touch their soda consumption. So again, but I'm happy for you. I think you're better off that way. Gabby says, I'm at my goal, but I'm in a really bad binge restrict cycle. I'm aware of it, but having trouble breaking out of it. Yeah, again, this is why I try and share with you all the time, folks, that being at your goal weight is not the goal. The goal weight is just one piece of the puzzle. So great job, Gabby, getting to your goal weight. But in my world, we want to live at our goal weight forever by resolving the issues that caused us to be overweight. And so dealing with the binge restrict cycle, to me, that you're not at the ultimate, you're not at goal. I'm not at my goal. Like I would stop saying I'm at my goal, right? Because you're not. Your goal should be that I naturally and comfortably am able to live at my goal weight on near autopilot. My goal is that I've resolved comfortably, strategically, in a way that I feel comfortable with that binge restrict cycle I used to have. You see, again, dieters, you send yourself a real confusing message when your goal weight says, oh, I'm at my goal weight, but now you're constantly struggling with binge restrict cycles or cravings or overeating or emotional eating or whatever issue it is. You see? So yeah, again, and now you're in a weird spot because now, again, this happens all the time, that dieters, they get to their goal weight and now the behavior that caused them the problems the whole time, the binge restrict cycle in this case, now all of a sudden they come right to the forefront. Why? Because now you don't have the excitement of the scale going down to cover up the core problem, which is the binge restrict cycle. So now there's no excitement of getting to that goal weight. And so now the binge restrict cycle comes back full force and you can't fight it off as much because you're not as excited to get to your goal weight because you're there now. So now it's like, what do you look forward to? That's the struggle all dieters have. Once you get to your goal weight, what are you looking forward to? And all of a sudden the binge restrict, the food starts to become more appealing. Whereas before you were using the excitement of the, excuse me, oh, my voice today. You were using the excitement of the weight loss, replace the excitement of the food. But now the weight loss has come to an end. And now where's the excitement in your life coming from? So that's the challenge. Okay. Now the secret to figuring that out is to, again, you want to diagnose, you want to dive into, yeah. So, okay, girl million, so I look forward to wearing all the beautiful clothes I want. I get that, girl million. I get that. I know that's called a hedonic pleasure, right? And so I know it sounds exciting now because you make it into this fairy tale. This is what the whole diet industry is built on. It's the fairy tale syndrome. It's the false hope syndrome, where it's like, oh my God, once I can wear all the beautiful clothes I want to wear, everything's gonna be amazing. Every day I'm gonna wear something beautiful, it's gonna be amazing. And I get it, and it will be fun. But what's happening, hedonic adaptation, is that you just will normalize to it. Just like, if you ever got a new car, it's like, oh my God, it's the amazing for a couple months, and then it just becomes my car. I don't want to sound discouraging here, folks, but we've got to understand this, because 95% of people that lose weight put it back on. Everyone here, you've lost weight and put it back on. So we've got to talk about this uncomfortable reality. So that the wanting to wear nice clothes probably isn't going to be enough for you long term. We've got to deal with the core issues that are creating the weight gain in the first place. So if we go back to Gabby wanting to wear nice clothes, I don't know what Gabby's external motivations were. I want to get more swipes when I'm on my dating app. I want to wear nicer clothes. I want to show off my friends. I want to feel good in public. Whatever those things were, they're going to normalize to them. And then that core problem of binge restrict cycle is still going to be there. So we got to deal with that core problem primarily in order to live at your goal weight. You're still going to have those other motivations. They're still always fun. They're just not as fun as motivating as you think they are. We've got to deal with the core thing. So the binge restrict cycle, again, it's, if I was working with you, we would deep dive into that. What's the pattern of your binge restrict cycle? There's a pattern to your binging and restricting. It's probably emotional, partly. Part of it's bad strategy. You're over restricting and then binging. So we want to not over restrict. So you want to understand the patterns to your binge behaviors. There's probably a couple of them. And then we want to work to resolve them in a comfortable way that's going to be sustainable long term. Now what's happened is you've taken you've resolved and removed a lot of that pressure, and you don't need as much motivation and excitement to fight against yourself, to get yourself down to your goal weight. I hope that makes sense. Deb says she drinks more water now. Yeah, not surprised. Lisa says, so true. I keep losing my husband. My husband asked me if I'm trying to get back to my birth weight. Yeah, exactly, Lisa, because that happens all the time with dieters, because it's the weight loss that's the main motivation. And once the weight, this all comes down to dopamine. If you understand dopamine, which you have to, I think, to understand your weight and just strategically manage it. But again, most dieters' motivation is to lose the weight. And again, that's not your goal. Your goal is not to lose weight. Your goal is to live at your goal weight. And so, yeah, I get it, Lisa. And it's just never ending. It's miserable though, because again, you never get to some solid ground where you feel really happy and at peace and, feeling the way you want to. You're always just chasing the weight loss because that becomes the only way you can feel good. And that's a bad recipe for obvious reasons. Gabby says my thoughts all the time. Whoop. Oh, Gabby says, I guess everything else is great. I have energy. I can do so much more things, but food occupies my thoughts all the time. Yeah, exactly, Gabby. And that's what it's like, this fucking medicine where it's like it eliminates the food noise. Bullshit. Like not in the right way, in my opinion. And I'm not saying it doesn't eliminate food noise. It does, because it makes you feel nauseous. But there's lots of ways to deal with the food noise, I think, that are a lot more effective. But yeah, I get it, Gabby. I mean, this is what I deal with all day. So Gabby, I'd strongly recommend go to my bio, click the link, get the hypnosis session, watch the video though. Watch the video, read some of the emails I get on here, ask more questions. I'm happy to help you out. But yeah, you're not at your goal. You're at a goal weight, but you're not at your goal. Okay. Make that distinction. There's a lot better things you could achieve still. And that should be exciting though. Okay. That's why I say in Program Yourself Thin, we take the weight loss and wrap it in personal development, because what that does is it sets you up to always have something more to achieve. Your brain needs something more. It needs something to look forward to. That's the dopamine piece to some degree. You need things to look forward to. With dieters, it's just like you're going to get to a weight and then you're going to stay there. So what are you looking forward to? Oh, wearing nice clothes. Okay. Let me know in 6 months how exciting it is wearing nice clothes. You've gotten used to it. It's still fun. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have the same charge. And so, again, there's got to be things that we're looking forward to that aren't food related. That's why the personal development is so important. That's why we need more than just the weight to aim at. We need more of a robust, bigger goal. So Gabby, you're not at your goal. Okay. Your goal, at least a next goal for you. My next goal is that I want to be more at peace with the food. You know what I mean? I want to be at peace with it. I want to naturally eat the right foods comfortably, automatically, and live my life focusing on whatever's important to you in your life. That's where I put my energy, you know? Girl Million says, I'm at my ideal weight. I have so many reasons for staying like this. I work out also. Yeah, that's great, Girl Million. And again, that's the strategy. Everything I'm sharing with you is things I've learned from people that successfully lost weight and kept it off. So again, people that successfully, like me, I have a million reasons too. Right. So yeah, she says so in all caps. I have so many reasons for staying like this. Me too. You dieters don't. You got like one reason. You want to look better. You want to wear your bathing suit. You want to wear skinny jeans. You want to, I don't know. It's just, I'm telling you, it's one thing and it's impotent. If you're not actively losing weight, it's because you're not motivated. And if you're living at your goal weight, it's because you are motivated. Real simple. Girlman says, I listen to you to stay this way, but I've been this way forever. I still practice being thin always. Yeah. Perfect, Girl Million. Exactly. You got to practice being thin and healthy. We don't live in a vacuum. We're constantly being attacked by the food and diet industry and just the culture in general. So we really need to practice. Every day I'm practicing being thin and healthy. It's a never ending practice. And I love it though, because I keep getting better and better and better at it. I keep improving in different ways. So I love it. But it takes practice. Dieters just have this crazy bullshit idea that you're just going to get to your goal weight and then I'm done. It's completely wrong, you know? So yeah, Girl Million, you should all listen to her. Lisa says original goal was 130. Now I'm at 107. Yeah, Lisa, again, I mean, we know what that's a recipe for, and it's a recipe for misery, and it's a recipe for an ED. And it doesn't end anywhere because again, that's what people do is you get addicted to the dieting because it's the main source of pleasure for you, the main source of control. You know, there's a lot of psychological analysis you could do with this, but it becomes the main way that you're fulfilling a lot of emotional needs. And it's not the healthiest way. And it's not the happiest way because there's no satisfaction. There's no contentment. There's no fulfillment in it. It's just usually you're constantly putting the screws and beating yourself up and making yourself feel like shit. Again, most of the time it's playing out some very toxic kind of internal dialogue that was put there early in life. I don't mean that may not be you too. Okay. But there's a pattern to that whole thing as well. And yeah, again, it gets to the point where it's never low enough because the weight loss in of itself is the core source of excitement, pleasure, satisfaction, happiness, all this stuff. User 203 says, I just want to feel comfortable in my own body. I can tell you one thing. If your weight loss motivation includes the word just, I can almost guarantee you it will not be enough motivation. I want you to understand that. I just want to feel comfortable in my own body is so vague, it's to be meaningless. So I can guarantee that user 203 is probably wondering why they don't have enough motivation. And it's plain as day for me. I just want to feel comfortable in my own body is virtually meaningless compared to the exquisite pleasure that the food provides you acutely when you eat it. You're bringing a bat to a bazooka fight. So I just want to feel more comfortable in my body. Any of you that are saying that, I just want to look better. I just want to look good in pictures. I just want to be able to wear my clothes. When you say just and then follow with something, and especially I just want to be healthier. I just want to be more comfortable. I just want to be more confident. No, I can almost guarantee you are not losing weight because you're not motivated enough. Sorry, it's tough love a little bit, but I better to hear that than to, jerk yourself around thinking like, I don't understand. I just want to feel comfortable and I'm not losing weight. Yeah, because that's not enough motivation. Not even close. Son says, the moment life throws me a curveball, I go off track to do that is my goal now. Oh, so that is my goal now. Yeah, great. So again, I mean, that's perfect because again, folks, listen, if the moment life throws me a curveball, I go off track. Okay. This is a perfect example that your goal weight is not enough of a goal. The goal weight's not fucking it. Listen, if the goal weight was like fixed everything in the world, then no one would ever put their weight back on instead of 95% of people putting the weight back on. I hate to tell you this. I'm a weight mastery, but this is what I do. So he said, Jim, why are you bumming me out? Shouldn't you be motivating me? Shouldn't you be saying how amazing it is? And I should want to, no, I'm not going to fucking bullshit you. You've been sold this bullshit your whole life from the diet industry that just getting your goal weight, everything's gonna be magical. It's the fairy tale. It's not true. You're going to get your goal weight and guess what? Life's still going to throw you curveballs, gut punches. You're still going to fight with your partner. You're still going to lose your job. You're still going to get yelled at by your boss. You're still going to get depressed. You're still going to be broke. You're still going to be stressed out. Yes, you are. And then how are you going to deal with it? Because your whole life you've used food to deal with all the emotions that come from those situations. So what are you going to do when you're not using the food anymore? How are you going to deal with that? See what I mean? So again, that's why in Program Yourself Thin, one of the mindset sections, the whole blueprint is dedicated to emotions. How do you deal with emotions? How do you feel the emotions you want? How do you deal with the shitty emotions you don't want to feel? And let's be honest, you don't have no idea because you've never learned how to deal with your emotions genuinely. In this culture where we're taught, trained, conditioned to use food as our main emotional management strategy. So again, you have to learn a number of things to master your weight. And if you want to do that, again, click the link in my bio. And if you even care, I don't know, I'm sick of promoting it because I know that most people don't really give a shit. So I'm going to take a break from promoting that. But if you are serious, I guess go to my bio and click the link and get the hypnosis session, watch the video. But anyways, yeah, Vicky says, love today's hypnosis about being nice to yourself. Yeah. Isn't that a great one? I love that this week's session. I love all of them, but this week's sessions are especially good. She says, whoa, needed that truth bomb. Yeah. Well, you're welcome. It's good to hear. Cause again, I would much rather realize I was wrong. I say this all the time, that my path of weight mastery is the biggest moments of improvement and steps forward have been by recognizing my own ignorances. If you're not losing weight, the primary reason why is that you're ignorant. Don't be offended by that term, meaning that what you think is true is not. You're just what you think, the things you think you have to do, what you think you need to do to lose weight is not accurate. You're wrong. You're running east looking for a sunset and you're completely wrong. Now, most people are going to get offended and mad by that and just turn off from it. But the ones that end up working with me say, maybe I am doing something wrong. Maybe there is a better way. And those are the people I end up working with. Okay. And so I know it's only a few of you. Most of you are just going to, go right back into trance as soon as I shut this off. Okay. But the people that I work with, it sticks in your head and it sticks in there and it's hard to get rid of, No, thank you, Curveball. Curveball says, my jaw dropped. Amazing live. Wow. Yeah. So again, you might be one of them. If you're one of those people, again, get in my world. I give you more free shit than anyone. And again, what I want you to understand is that what I help people with, I'm not giving you fucking meal plans. I'm not giving you workouts. That is the least of your problems. The least of your problems is that you don't know what to eat, or you don't have a workout plan, or you don't have the right willpower. I promise you. So what's happening is you don't fucking know what to do. You don't know what to do. You have some vague ass idea about what to eat. And you have no idea how to change your mindset. You have no idea how to install the habits of a healthy lifestyle to support you. And you have no idea how to change your eating in a strategic way that sets you up to eat that way for the rest of your life. You have literally no idea. It's like you've never studied weight loss in your life, which is another way to put it is you've never studied weight mastery ever in your life. Not even one time. As obsessed as you are with your weight. And that's all you think about. I know all you think about is your weight. As obsessed as you are and as much as effort as you put in, as much money as you spent, you've never once studied weight mastery. You've never once studied how to live, think, and eat like a thin, healthy person. And you wonder why you can't lose weight and you keep blaming yourself because you're a piece of shit. Well, I don't get the willpower. I have no self-control. I'm a sugar craver addict. And no, you're a fucking dieter. Dipshit dieter. Wake the fuck up. Stop it. I mean, you can wake up as soon as you decide to. It's that simple. But you can't keep doing the same thing you've been doing for literally fucking decades at this point and expect that anything's ever going to be different. How the fuck can you imagine Weight Watchers is magically going to work for you next Monday when it hasn't worked for you the last 30 years? What would change? What's going to change between Sunday and Monday that now magically it works for you? And you could insert whatever diet thing you keep trying for decades. So again, maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe I'm a bullshitter. Maybe I'm a charlatan who's just talking a bunch of bullshit. Maybe. But you can find out for free. All it would take you is this much effort, this much time. Maybe I'm totally full of shit. But why not find out? And if you don't, it's because you don't really give a shit about your weight anyways. You're apathetic to the point of non-action taking. I know it hurts, but yeah, user 2 3 says, love the reality of your responses. Well, thank you. Again, I am here to be honest with you. The whole fucking weight loss world is full of shit. I take the no bullshit oath. Let me get out and tell you what you need to hear. From my perspective, do I know everything? Obviously not. But who else are you guys listening to that has spent 20 years professionally, 30 years personally, obsessively focused on people that have lost weight and kept it off? Good luck. I have not found anyone. I ask for names every day when I'm on here. This is almost my 500th podcast. I've done almost 6,000 private weight loss sessions. I've been doing this for 30 years. And I don't know anyone even remotely talking about what I'm talking about here, the systems that I'm talking about. So I give you all this shit for free just so you can see. Is it in the ballpark of something you think might help you or not? I don't want you to get my program. It's not right fit. That's why I put a bunch of barriers in front of it. That's why I don't get here. You don't hear me saying, because you know what you see on TikTok all the time, your influencers, they do a live, they do all this stuff. What are they doing? They're sending you some sale. Go buy my program. Go get the program. Don't get my program. I don't want you to get my program because it's probably not for you. Go test out the free shit I give you. See if it makes sense to you. And for the people it does make sense, they get my program. But most of you are not even going to find out. And that's why I do it this way. But anyways, the point I'm saying, I'm not trying to be a dick here. The reason I'm saying this stuff is that the vast majority of you don't really give a shit about your weight and are not going to take any action to fix it. So you should just cut the shit and just accept your weight for what it is and live a happier life. Enjoy the food you eat. Enjoy the life you're living. Stop rating yourself over the coals for something that you're not going to change anyways. Is that a jerk thing to say? I want you to be happier. And the vast majority of you are not going to take the actions it takes to lose the weight. Because you don't care. You don't really care. And so if you don't really care, live in that and accept it and just enjoy your life. Or care and take some fucking action. MJ says, Jim, I finally understand. I'm a student of my eating behavior, the subconscious responses, PYT. Yeah, again, MJ's in the program. So yeah, when you get in the program, it becomes a whole new world. You don't get on a diet endurance test. You start walking a path for the rest of your life. And the beauty shows up 6 months, a year, 2 years into it. It becomes elegant. It becomes your own plan that you've internalized. Your whole life is a different level. So great job, MJ. All right, everyone, I'm out of here. Again, if you do want to take some action, click the link in my bio, get the hypnosis session, watch the video, check me out here. I'm usually here Monday through Friday, noon Eastern time-ish. And this is a podcast, so if you miss it, you want to listen to it, you can go to any of the podcast platforms and search Program Yourself Thin, and you can find it. I got a YouTube channel going on. I'm starting to build that up. I just put a video up there, 3 reasons dieting doesn't work and how hypnosis fixes it. So you can go check that out. Again, that's Jim Katsoulis, YouTube. Check it out. Subscribe if you like it. I'll be putting more and more stuff up there as we move forward. And yeah. All right, everyone. Have a super duper day. Thank you, everyone. And we'll talk soon. Bye.